Hi, I'm Paul Forsey and I'm an artist and designer based in West Berkshire. Thank you for visiting this virtual exhibition, Structures of Faith at Arlington Arts, and I hope at some point in the near future you might get the opportunity to visit in person. Structures of Faith feature some of my recent paintings and photographs and also includes sculptures and totems in wood by the maker Jim Crockatt. I always find an explanation of how I make work is a good introduction, a kind of description of the surface, so that's where I'll start. I paint mostly at night and I paint mostly with acrylic because you can use additives such as interference, iridescent and fluorescent colours. Quite handy because a lot of my work is about the dark too. I like to add textures using sand, glass and glitter, in fact anything that sparkles. I gravitate towards colours that are dense and vivid and that accentuate gold because I use a lot of gold in my work. I use 23 carat gold leaf, silver and coloured silver leaf, copper and palladium, and more recently I've been experimenting with coloured metal foil too. In my painting I'm interested in what happens when the light begins to change, when it is not flat or daylight, when it's not perfect, in fact when it starts to get dark. I like to include found objects from my journeys, and people are often quite curious why I'm examining and picking up bits of rubbish that other people have left behind. Sometimes I like to include personal keepsakes from those that I have loved and lost. For instance, my mother's old abandoned earrings become stars and moons, and pearls from a broken necklace become pebbles on a storm-lashed shore. Due to lockdown, I am talking to you from my workshop, so I thought it would be a good idea to have a glimpse under the bonnet, as it were, at the outwardly chaotic space where much of my work begins to take shape. I like to think of it as a visual larder, collecting all of my ingredients together and getting ready to start cooking. Subject matter varies, but to my mind there are threads that run through all of my work across the different mediums, solutions and scenarios. Like so much creative work, there is not a conscious decision to do, it just happens. I mostly respond to what I'm confronted with, what grabs my attention, what is immediate. Sometimes they are everyday things, others have to be sought out. I like how things emerge out of the dark or from a grey, rain-swept moor. But I also became aware that I was interested in things that offer or have offered hope and insight. A church building on a remote promontory, an engine house on a cliff top, a standing stone, a long barrow or a lighthouse. People have faith in these things. The church will give us spiritual guidance, a seam of tin will make us rich, a long barrow gives eternal rest, a lighthouse guides the ship away from danger. There has been a lot to test our faith since this exhibition was first planned, and much of it still unexplained and hard to understand, and we are all indelibly marked by the experiences over the last year. Looking at some of these structures with their mystical powers of enlightenment and their timeless wisdom, I can't help but get an overwhelming sense that I have seen it all before. Could they be just cold piles of rocks without a soul, or do some things have to be believed to be seen?